I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and before we get started to the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you get educated about the show, so you can click on that merchandise tab, go straight to our Classic Logo t-shirt, our Pride Logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know, love, and expect from the Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store, whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, doesn't make a difference. We've put up enough gimmicks that you can outfit your entire person, your entire home. We sure would appreciate if you would go ahead and do just that to start the brand new year. After all, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so please listen up. Here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. You can still find us on X. You can also now find us on Threads. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us on TikTok. So please give us a like, give us a follow on any or all of those different platforms. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it doesn't take you but a second. So please support the Renegades of Puck on social media. You can find us on YouTube. Just search Renegades of Puck and subscribe to our channel. You'll get full episodes, full game recaps, full game previews, all of our different analysts and interview segments, all right there. Easy to click on our YouTube channel. Just search Renegades of Puck today. You can find the audio podcast, and welcome to 2024. We are so happy to say that 2023 was the best year the audio podcast has ever had, thanks to the Full Press Predators podcast and the Full Press NHL Network. Stick taps, love, and respect to everybody who's helped us out behind the scenes. Make 2023 the most successful year we've ever had to date. Looking forward to a big 2024. We're already starting it off in a huge way. So you can find the audio podcast on numerous platforms. Search Renegades Puck in your preferred platform today, or check out a couple of these different examples. Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Amazon. We're on all of those different podcast platforms and several others. You can find us on Venmo. That's how you can become a financial sponsor of the Renegades of Puck and make a donation. Just search Renegades of Puck in Venmo or scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes directly to the Renegades of Puck, and it sure goes a long way to helping this independent operation. We've replaced all of our technology and equipment behind the scenes in the last couple of months, and it has been possible thanks to your generosity. So thank you so much, Renegades of Puck. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you. Nelson, I know it's time to get to know how to step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 847. That's right. Time for show number 847. And Happy New Year, Renegades. It's time for Game 1 of the 2024 calendar of the season. And at this moment in hockey history, Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division. After 37 games skated, they have a record of 20-16-1. They have 41 points on the season. They are 8 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche on home ice, which is where the Nashville Predators next game will take place. They have a record of 11-9. They've scored 116. They've given up 116 on the season. That means they have a goal differential of even. The Chicago Blackhawks are the Nashville Predators' next opponent. They have an overall record of 11-23-2 and 24 points, which has them 8th overall in the Central Division. On the road, they have a record of 4-14-1. Their next game, of course, will take place at Bridgestone Arena. They have 87 goals on the season, but they have given up 137 goals against. They have a goal differential of -50 on the season. Now, this game is taking place exclusively inside of the Central Division, so let's update you on the most recent Central Division standings. The Colorado Avalanche, as I mentioned, are in first place after 37 games skated. 23-11-3 is their record. 49 points overall, has them 1 point ahead of the second place Winnipeg Jets, but also 1 point ahead of the third place Dallas Stars. As these three teams continue the three-team weave at the top of the Central, I assume they're going to continue doing that into the second half of the season and all the way down to the finish line. It's who will be able to crack that 4-5 spot, because I believe 5 spots will go from the Central Division this year into the playoff bracket of the Western Conference. So the Dallas Stars were in third place with 48 points. That's where we left off. Then you'll find the Nashville Predators in fourth place with 41 points, 7 points back of an automatic cutoff spot, but only 8 points back of first place in the division. The Arizona Coyotes are at 40 points in fifth place. The St. Louis Blues are in sixth place with 37 points. Minnesota is in seventh place with 36 points. So 13 points separates first from seventh in the division. Then you'll find the Chicago Blackhawks with only 24 points on the season, and they are in last place in the Central Division. Once the Preds finish up this one game against the Blackhawks, they'll also welcome in the Calgary Flames beginning the year 2024. Then Saturday, first game of the new calendar year, off to Dallas to take on the Stars on the 9th of January, back home against Anaheim on the 12th of January in Dallas to take on the Stars yet again this month. Now on the 13th of January at home to face off against the New York Islanders. Chicago Blackhawks' most recent 5 games updated through New Year's Eve. On December the 22nd, it was a 5-2 loss versus the Montreal Canadiens. On the 23rd of December, it was a 7-5 loss at the St. Louis Blues. On the 27th of December, after the Christmas break, a 2-1 overtime win versus the Winnipeg Jets. On the 29th of December, the Chicago Blackhawks had a 5-4 overtime loss at the Dallas Stars. And most recently, on New Year's Eve, an 8-1 loss at the Dallas Stars. Mrazek, 25 out of 31, took the loss. Soderblom in relief went 8 out of 10 in that game. This is the third of 4 regular season meetings between these two Central Division rivals, Nashville Preds and Chicago Blackhawks. Let's go back very quickly and talk about the previous 2 meetings. It was back on November the 18th when they met for the first time this season. The Preds defeated the Blackhawks 4-2 on home ice. The backup for the Preds, Kevin Lankinen, got the start, picked up the victory, going 26 out of 31. It was Cole Smith with 2 goals in that game. Trennan and Nyquist a goal each. Soderblom got the start for the Blackhawks, went 27 out of 30 and took the loss at Bridgestone Arena, while Kurashev and Johnson shipped in with the 2 goals for Chicago. The 2 teams would meet pretty quickly again. This time on December the 5th, it would be the Preds scoring a 4-3 final victory, this time in the shootout in Chicago. Saros got the victory in this game, 25 out of 28. It was Evangelisto, O'Reilly, and Jankowski with the goals for the Predators. Forsberg with the shootout game-winning goal. Soderblom started against the Preds again, took the loss, going 27 out of 30. It was Nick Foligno with the 2 goals in that game, and Dickinson with 1 goal, making up your 3 goals for Chicago. So on the season at this point, the Preds are 2-0 against Chicago. They've picked up 4 points, and they've outscored them 8-5. They'll play one more time after this meeting. That'll take place on April 12th, right near the end of the regular season schedule, when the Preds will go to Chicago for the second time this year. When it comes to the matchup and the rankings between these 2 teams, updated numbers are as follows. The Predators' 3.08 goals per game is 20th best in the NHL, while the Chicago Blackhawks' 2.46 goals per game is 30th overall in the league. Blackhawks give up 3.66 per game, which is 30th overall in the NHL, while the Preds give up 3.14, and that is 16th overall in the league. Shots on goal category, 30.3 for the Preds is 20th overall. 26.7 shots on goal for Chicago Blackhawks is 31st overall in the NHL. The shots against category, 32.9. That's 28th in the league, while the Nashville Predators giving up 30.6 shots against per game. That is 17th overall in the NHL. Special teams, the power play for Chicago, converting at only 12.8% of the season. That's 28th in the league. The Nashville Predators, 20.8% is 17th in the league. 27 out of 130 opportunities. The Preds penalty kill rating is 25th in the league, 76.9%. They've given up 28 power play goals against, while Chicago's PK is 27th overall in the league. They've killed off 75% this season. So Chicago Blackhawks do not have a single statistical metric below 27th in the NHL out of the top 6 that we talk about here on the show. Now let's talk about the individual top scorers for each of these 2 teams. We usually like to talk about the top 5 scorers for each team. For the Chicago Blackhawks, their updated statistics, Connor Bedard, 15 and 18 now, 433 after picking up a point on New Year's Eve. Kurashev picked up a goal on New Year's Eve as well, 7 and 15 for 22. Dickinson's at 12 and 6 for 18. Foligno, 8 goals and 9 assists. 2 of those 8 goals coming against the Nashville Predators for 17 points on the season. And Johnson, 9 and 4 for 13 points. On the Nashville Predators side of things, Philip Forsberg has 18 goals and 23 assists for 41 total points. Ryan O'Reilly has 14 goals and 16 assists for 30 points. The captain, Romeo, is at 8 and 21 for 29. Gus Nyquist is at 8 goals and 19 assists for 27 points. And Colton Sissons is at 11 and 9 for 20. Anticipated goaltender matchup sees UC Saros with a record of 15, 13, and 1, a 901 save percentage, and 3.02 goals against average, going up against Soderblom, which would be his 3rd start of the year against the Nashville Predators. His record is 211 and 1, 870 save percentage, 4.15 goals against average, and in relief, 8 out of 10 in the most recent game in Dallas, in that 8-1 loss. So again, for the Nashville Predators, a 4-2 victory against Chicago at home. 4-3 shootout victory against Chicago on the road, and now they will take on the Blackhawks at home for the second and final time this season, 3rd of 4 meetings in this regular season. We've got to go back to the year 2023 and talk about what happened in the Nashville Predators' previous game. That's got you all set up for the first game of 2024. Again, Happy New Year, Renegades. Great to be back in the trenches. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you joining us for another year of great Nashville Predators coverage right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to December 30th of the year 2023, when the Nashville Preds were closing out the regular season series in Washington against the Capitals and also closing out the 2023 schedule. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines in the following way on the second night of back-to-backs. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist. Sherwood back in the lineup. Parson and Sissons are his line mates on the second line. Smith, Novak, and Evangelista on the third line. Trennan, McCarron, and Tomasino on your fourth line. Your defensive pairings are McDonough and Yossi, Luzon and Carey. Fabro and Shen. Barry is listed as day-to-day. Lankinen also listed as day-to-day. So Yaroslav Askarov gets his second ever NHL start, his first of this season. Just 15 seconds into the game, and it's Shepard coming up with a save on O'Reilly. First shot on goal of the game. 43 seconds into the first period, Shepard coming up with another save on Sherwood. 1:59 into the first period, it's Skarov coming up with a save on Sandin, his first save of the game at 2:44 of the first period. It's Luke Evangelista's fifth goal of the season, a spinning rebound put back from the slot. Gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead over the Caps at 3:52 of the first period. Shepard coming up with a save on Ryan McDonough at 5:03 of the first period. It's Askarov coming up with a save on Protos at 6:03 of the first period. So Ovechkin off to the box. 2 minutes for cross-check, and that's where we find the captain, Roman Josi, burying his eighth goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 2-0 lead here early in the first period. He walked it to the middle, picked his place, and took a shot with good, healthy traffic in front of the net. Again, Josi's eighth goal of the season makes it 2-0 in favor of the Nashville Predators on the power play. 8:48 into the first. Shepard save on Josi. And this time 9:38. Askarov comes up with a save on Carlson at 10:25. Malestein comes up with his third goal of the season, getting the Washington Capitals on the board. 2-1 now in favor of the Nashville Predators. This goal happened because, well, simply the Nashville Predators were sloppy, choppy, and loose in their own defensive end, giving up multiple turnovers before the rebound putback can be easily finished off by Malestein. Good credit to the fourth line of the Washington Capitals. They were really bringing the jam and grinding, and they took the puck away from the Preds a couple times in their own zone. 2-1 hockey game now. 12:46 into the first period. McCarron off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. This penalty kill can only be described as excellent. 0 shots on goal. Sissons and Cole Smith absolutely doing dynamic work out there shorthanded. 16:13 of the first period. Shepard coming up with a save on McCarron, and then immediately after the shot, McCarron and Wilson are off the box. 5 minutes each. Not a whole lot to the fight. A lot of clutching, a lot of grabbing, and a couple of punches while they were down. They certainly got the better of each other in the chirping department than they did in the punching department, but they're both off to the box for 5 minutes. At 18:56 of the first period, Skarov coming over with a save on Ethan Bear. At 19:57 of the first, Skarov coming over with a save on Carlson. The 20-minute mark, Luzon and Edmondson off to the box. 2 minutes each for a roughing. I felt like this was the easy way out for the officials. Many players were involved in the end of the period scrum, and it was definitely initiated by Edmondson on Luzon. I felt this was the easiest way out for the situation. We'll start the second period with some 4-on-4 hockey, but the first period will wrap up with the Preds having a 2-goal lead, 2-1 lead, that is, and the Washington Capitals out shooting the Preds 12-11. 18 seconds into the second period. This is during 4-on-4 hockey. Shepard comes up with a save on Forsberg at the 35-second mark of the second. Askarov comes up with a save on Kuznets off the 1:48 mark of the second period. Shepard comes up with a save on Josi. We return to 5-on-5 even strength hockey, and at 3:29 we see Shepard coming with a save on Luke Evangelista at the 6:22 mark of the second period. It's Shepard coming up with a save on Luzon at 7:29 of the second period. It's Askarov coming up with a save on the jam attempt after the shot goes off of the post, lands behind him, and he has to dive backwards on top of the puck carry with the goal line support from the defensive standpoint there. Great job right there supporting his young rookie goaltender. Come up with a save. 9:17 in the second period. Shepard comes up with a save on McCarron. Tomasino set this play up off the half wall. The delay, the setup of the pass, all of it was the excellence of execution by Philip Tomasino, and McCarron got a really good strong shot off right here, but Shepard gets the best of everyone. 12:27 now of the second period, and it's Shepard coming up with the save on Ryan McDonough at the 12:56 mark of the second period. It's Luke Evangelista off to the box. 2 minutes for holding. An outstanding penalty kill by the Nashville Predators. They would not allow a single shot on goal, but unfortunately for the Nashville Predators, on what we'd like to call the continuation, just a couple of seconds after the power play expired, with Washington still holding the puck possession and a distinct advantage, Ovechkin capitalizes officially O'Reilly at 14:59 of the second period. His 7th goal of the season, tying the game up at 2 apiece. And you know exactly what the play was. A one-time bomb from the left circle, and welcome to the club, Yaroslav, number 171 in the goalies that have given up a goal to Alex Ovechkin club. So we are now tied at 2 apiece in the second period. We move to the 16:30 mark of the second. That's when Shepard comes up with a save on O'Reilly's wraparound attempt. O'Reilly checked the short side, then decided to try the wraparound, got shut down by Shepard. Either way, he decided. 16:44. Shepard robs Tommy Novak at the back door. Maybe not quite enough sauce on that pass from Forsberg, but Novak got a good look at the back post, and Shepard was there to deny. 17:03 of the second period. Shepard comes up with a save on Luke Evangelist. 18:05 of the second period. That's Saskarov coming up with a save on Malestein. 18:58, another save on Edmondson. And in 19:57, Shepard comes up with a save on Luzon from the half wall. Never hurts to throw it on net, and this shot had more trouble than you would expect at the end of the period. The Nashville Predators are now out shooting Washington 25-17, so the Caps only get 5 shots on goal in the second period, but they do pick up the goal to tie the game. We flip the sheet over, and we start with the third period, and we are 1 minute and 1 second on to that clean sheet, and it's Shepard back to work, coming up with a save on Jeremy Luzon at 1:29 of the third period. Zaskarov coming up with a save on McMichael, 2:06. Zaskarov coming up with a save on Kuznetsov at 4:01 of the third period. It's McMichael off to the box, 2 minutes for holding, but it would be the Nashville Predators coming up with the big-time stops right here as the rookie netminder would come with a save on Kuznetsov, then another save on Dowd, and the Nashville Predators on the entirety of their 2-minute power play would not generate a single shot on goal. That's right, not a single shot on goal for the Preds, but 2 for the Washington Capitals, shorthanded. 7:07 of the third period. It's Shepard coming up with a save on Tommy Novak. At 7:20 of the third period, it's Saskarov coming up with a save on Edmondson. 7:48, Shepard a save on Forsberg. Teams trading chances back and forth here in the middle of the third period. The 9:01 mark of the third, and Shepard coming with a save on Yakov Trennin's wrist shot at 10:26 of the third period. It's Askarov coming up with a save on Jensen's long, heavy shot at the 11:38 mark of the third period. It's Shepard coming up with a save on Luke Shen. 13:02, Shepard back to work. This time a save on Philip Forsberg. 15:41, another big-time save on Yakov Trenin. Then 16:32, Shepard yet another save on Philip Forsberg's redirect from close range. Now, at 18:59 of the third period, when it seemed like things were settling down and the teams were just going to go ahead and get a point and split this thing later on, at 18:59, it's Alex Ovechkin seeming to get on the board. It was on a delayed call. Ovechkin jumps off of the bench. The delayed call was going to be on Luke Shen. Ovechkin off of the bench, able to finish off the play. This was reviewed. Initially not understood what they were reviewing it for. Turns out they were reviewing it for goaltender interference. They ruled it was goaltender interference. They took the goal off of the board. So instead of it being 3-2 and Ovechkin having his second goal of the game, we go back to a 2-2 hockey game, put 19 minutes, 1 minute left on the clock in the third, and Shen in the box for 2 minutes. The official call is hooking. 2-2 hockey game. At the end of regulation, because the Predators would prevent getting any shots for the Washington Capitals on their power play for that minute, the Nashville Predators are out shooting the Washington Capitals 33-26. Both teams earn a point. We'll settle the third point in overtime. The carryover of 1 minute into OT means instead of the 3-on-3, we'll start with the 4-on-3. And Skarov is coming up with a big save on Carlson's sharp angle heavy shot. And they go to even strength hockey, which is now 4-on-4 hockey, and would remain that way for quite some time as the teams would skate up and down, and it got kind of scary for a couple of minutes for both teams, but they weren't really getting the clean scoring chance. 3:56 of the overtime period. It's Shepard coming out with a save on Forsberg, and this rush plus the jam was simply incredible. If Forsberg could have finished this one off, this one would have been on the season-ending highlight reel. There is no doubt about that. Philip Forsberg makes a couple of sick moves through the defenders, then almost stuffs the puck home on the goal line. At 4:10 of overtime, Zaskarov coming out with a save on Wilson. We hit the end of overtime. We'll go to a shootout. Shots on goal for the game, 34 for Nashville, 28 for the Washington Capitals. Now, going into the shootout, the Washington Capitals are going to shoot first, and it's Kuznetsov coming in with the slowest move you've seen since Ryan Johansson, and he gets stopped by Yaroslav Askarov, and then Nyquist goes for the Nashville Predators, goes bar down, converting also with the slow and low move, picks his spot with a wrist shot, and converts, putting the Preds up 1-0 in the shootout. Ovechkin then takes the opportunity and is shut down by his countrymate. O'Reilly then finishes the shootout with the wrist shot again 1, beating Shepherd. 2-0 is the shootout win. 3-2 is officially the win for the Nashville Predators in the shootout. Shots on goal for the game, 34-28. Yaroslav Askarov gets his first ever victory in the NHL and only his second career start, and he stops two of the most famous countrymen he will ever get a chance to play against in the NHL. We've got so much more coming up on this game on the Renegades of Puck podcast. Analysis, box score, and more coming up next.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. Yaroslav Askarov, 27 out of 29. 2 goals against. He stopped Ovechkin and Kuznetsov in the shootout. Picks up his first career victory. And I've got to tell you, this is highly impressive stuff. And it's going to make the rounds back in his home country. Absolutely for sure. One of the greatest players ever to come out of his nation. Perhaps the man who will be the all-time leading scorer in the NHL as far as goals. Askarov shuts him down. The shootout does surrender 1 goal to him in regulation, and you got to admit, now that the game's over and the Preds were able to secure the 2 points, pretty cool to see the two of them. We talked about an awful lot in the preview, and it was pretty cool to see them go up head-to-head against each other. Ovechkin at one point going up to Askarov, putting a little shoulder into him and saying a little welcome to the NHL or something to that effect. You never quite know, but Ovechkin versus Askarov was everything that you had hoped it to be. Ovechkin does beat him once, actually beats him twice, but the goaltender interference takes that goal off of the board. And in the shootout, it is Askarov getting the big stop right there. You know that's going to make all the highlight reels back home. That's going to be a huge moment. I cannot imagine a better way for Yaroslav Askarov to pick up his first victory in the NHL than to do it against the Washington Capitals, Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, and to pick up the shootout win. And he was, again, wild. Stick handling coming out of the net. It's a ride. You got to make sure your seatbelt's on tight and you're strapped in when you see Askarov out there on the rink. He's got all the tools, all the skills, and he's got just a little bit of that chaos magic in him that I think is going to make him something incredibly special. Special night for this netminder, special night for this franchise to see him pick up his first victory, 27 out of 29 in this game. Let's talk about some other storylines coming out of this one. Luke Evangelista, the head coach, put the call out to the youth of this team and said, I need more. And it was Luke Evangelista that answered that phone call. And he picks up a goal in this game with the spinning jam. Also generates 4 shots on goal. That spinning jam right there in the slot. Highly impressive play. He was a whirlwind in the middle of defenders, and he found a way to get to the loose puck, spin, get himself in body position, shoot the puck, and finish the play as if it was almost nothing there. And he only had 10:40 in time on ice. I'd seriously like to see him tick up in time on ice, but maybe after this goal, he'll have a little bit more confidence, and maybe the coaching staff will also have a little bit more confidence. But Luke Evangelista, one of the players of the youth side of this roster who answered the call that the head coach had put out. The captain, Roman Josi, picks up the other goal in this game on the power play, did what he does best, controlled the play, set it up, walked it to the middle, and took a hell of a shot right there for another goal. 3 block shots in this game as well, 26-51 in total time on the second night of back-to-backs. 2 games in 24 hours, and both of them go to overtime. This one goes to a shootout. The captain, Roman Josi, is there for every second of it, leading his squad to a victory, and also picked up a fight over the weekend. So the captain, Roman Josi, now at 29 points after picking up his 8th goal in this game in Washington. Nyquist and O'Reilly. Shootout precision is the note that I made. Nyquist comes in with the slow and low, picks his spot, bar down, wrist shot, just perfection. And then O'Reilly, very very similar to that move, and the Nashville Predators win the shootout 2-0 in this game. We've already talked about how Askarov shut down the Russians from the Washington Capitals, but Nyquist and O'Reilly, the free agents, the mercenaries who come in this season for the Nashville Predators, are performing at such a high level, and it was such professionalism and precision to see out there on the rink from the Predators in the shootout. They handled themselves quite expertly, and Nyquist, another strong game. He had maybe the strongest weekend of any of the Nashville Predators. Back-to-back games, picks up another assist in this game, and again, impressive stuff. Nyquist 19-26 in total time on ice, 217 on the power play, and again, Nyquist is on a streak right now, and he is a player that maybe you didn't want it, but you got to admit, you're falling in love with him more and more every shift out there. Sherwood, another young player, he got the healthy scratch, and he answered the call as well. 4 shots on goal, 5 hits, 14:01 total time on ice. A strong return from the healthy scratch. Sherwood, highly noticeable in this game. He had his legs under him. He had the healthy scratch last night in Detroit, so he should have looked really good in this game. He was set up for success by his coaching staff, getting him in there on the second night of back-to-backs, being fresh in the way he likes to bring the energy and the way he likes to play. This set up perfectly for him, and he was very noticeable in this game. And again, that should be a good confidence builder for Sherwood. 4 shots on goal and 5 hits in 14 minutes of time on ice. That's a good, strong return from that healthy scratch. So Evangelista and Sherwood answer the call. Nyquist and O'Reilly bring the precision and professionalism, and Askarov gets his first ever victory. The Nashville Predators, they get out of Washington with 2 points. They pick up 3 out of 4 over the weekend. And just before we wrap up the analysis portion of this thing, I just want to mention Luzon again. Listen, he's not perfect, you know? He's out there an awful lot of minutes. He's playing good hard D, and he makes a lot of solid plays. He makes mistakes from time to time, but 5 block shots in this game, 4 hits, 416 in total time on ice shorthanded. Another just steady performance. And yes, I know he was responsible for the multiple turnovers that led to Washington's first goal, but again, he's not perfect, but that's a hell of a stat line to put up for the second night of back-to-backs. That's going to do it for the analysis of things. We got to get on to the box score, the good, cold, hard numbers, and we got to hear from our tremendous friends for the last time in the year 2023, our great friends at Stripe Digital Solutions. We'll take a quick break right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Talking about the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. Luke Evangelista picks up a goal in this game. The captain, Romagnosi, also picks up a goal. Going over to the assist category, it is Tommy Novak. All he does is make plays. Nyquist also picks up an assist. O'Reilly picks up an assist. Dante Fabro picks up an assist. Fabro and Carey, I should talk about this more on the physical component of things, but Fabro and Carey just took an absolute beating out there on the rink tonight and continued making plays while taking just massive crunches along the boards all night long. In the shots on goal category, Philip Forsberg jumping out way high above everybody else with 8 shots on goal in this game. You will find a trio with 4, though, in the forwards. Luke Evangelista, again, good performance, coming back and answering the call. Ryan O'Reilly always bringing the jam. He picks up 4. Sherwood brings up 4, coming back from the healthy scratch. Good to see that jam out there on the rink. It was Luzon with 3 shots on goal, leading the defenseman. When it comes to block shots, it was Luzon with 5, and then Yossi with 3. You won't find anybody else on the team above 2, but the 2s are Shen and Sissons. The 2s are Shen. Oh, man, there's so many jokes right there. So many jokes right there. When it comes to the physical component and the hits category, leading was Sherwood. It was not Luzon in this game. Luzon does check in at second, so Sherwood had 5. Luzon had 4. Jakob Trennan also had 4. McCarron had 3. Luke Shen had 3 in this game. So Sherwood bringing 5 hits, leading in that category. When it comes to the time on ice leaders, second night of back-to-backs. Last night, I thought Andrew Burnett did a good job in Detroit of managing the time on ice. Only one forward was over 20 minutes. And again, on the second night of back-to-backs, only one forward over 20 minutes, and it happens to be Ryan O'Reilly, who I feel like can skate all day and night long, even at his advanced age. It's so ancient. 1926 time on ice for Nyquist, 1844 Philip Forsberg on the defensive side of things, Captain Roman Josi. That it truly is a hockey player and a human being that can skate forever. 26:51 in total time on ice. McDonough had 24 minutes. Carrier had 20 minutes and 20 seconds of total time on ice. When it comes to the special teams, power play, 217 across the board for the forwards of Forsberg, of Nyquist, of O'Reilly, and of Sissons. 252 for the captain, Roman Josi. That power play did go 1 of 2 and convert the penalty kill time on ice leaders. 416 for Luzon, 318 for McDonough, 227 for Alex Carey, 322 for Colton Sissons, and 253 for Cole Smith. They went 3 of 3 in this game, only giving up 1 shot on goal. The one asterisk you do have to put, though, they did give up a goal on the continuation, largely the same unit. They were unable to get the change. It was only a couple seconds after the penalty expired. But still, 3 out of 3 technically, only giving up 1 shot on goal, and that includes a minute of shorthanded time in overtime. Face-off winning percentage, 60.7%. Good to see the Nashville Predators back in the positive direction in that category. One of the reasons they were able to win this game. Block shots, 17. Hits, 23. Takeaways, 6. Giveaways, 9. That's going to do it for the box score. Oh, yeah, wait. We left off one thing. Yaroslav Askarov, 27 out of 29. 2 goals against, a .931 save percentage for this individual game. 26 even strength saves, 1 power play save, 1 shorthanded save, and his first career National Hockey League victory. Impressive stuff for the young netminder of the Nashville Predators. That's going to do it for the box score. Listen, let's go ahead and close this thing out. 3 out of 4 points over the weekend. Listen, the Predators could have easily picked up all 4 of those points, and you know what? They easily could have ended up with no points by the way they played in some of the stretches of the game. Not the best example of their best hockey over the last 2 games, but they found a way to get 3 out of the 4 points on the road in a back-to-back situation to close out the 2023 calendar. You got to give them the stick taps for that. They found a way, and they're moving up in the standings. Now back to 4th place in the Central Division, only 6 points behind first place Colorado. So the Preds did find a way, and they got 3 out of the 4 points, and it's exactly what they needed to do on this road trip. And again, not their best hockey, but they got 75% of the points that were available. And let's talk about quickly before we head out of the bunker, the 2023 turnaround. This franchise was absolutely sliding off into irrelevance and complete non-existence at the beginning of the year 2023. The team started to make the turnaround as the winter turned into the spring. There were bold moves. There were significant trades that were made. Matthias Ekholm, no longer a part of the Nashville Predators after that point in time, and so many others, including Jeannot, including Niederreiter, and it kept on going from there, and it continued as the youth got the opportunity. The Predators almost found themselves in a playoff spot at the end of last season. Everything continued over the summer as John Hines was removed. Andrew Burnett was hired. Barry Trotz came in for a retiring David Poyle. Trades were made. Again, signings were made. O'Reilly, Nyquist brought in the offseason by Barry Trotz. And the 2023 turnaround, what was expected to be a full rebuild that classically at the National Hockey League level takes somewhere between 3 and 5 years and is painful. It usually includes completely bottoming out and losing all of your known and named players, which for the Nashville Predators may have included over the next season or two UC Saros, Philip Forsberg, Roman Josi. But the Nashville Predators have come in at the beginning of this season, the first half of the schedule that took place in the back end of 2023, and have been exceptional. 37 games played. They have a record of 20, 16, and 1. 41 points, has them 6 points out of first place, and they currently hold a wild card spot, and there's no reason to believe they cannot continue competing as Andrew Burnett continues growing as the first-year head coach, as Barry Trotz continues growing as a first-year GM, and as the team continues growing, both on the veteran side with the chemistry and on the youth side with gaining more and more experience. Everything about the year 2023 for this Nashville Predators team has been absolutely fascinating. We will look back on this calendar year for so many years to come and talk about the storylines that emerged from this, and we'll just talk alone about the draft picks Tanner Jeannot brought for years to come that will continue to make this team better. So the Nashville Predators in 2023 went from absolutely bottoming out, deciding it was time for the rebuild, and now in less than half a season, they're already competitive and holding a playoff spot. I can't wait to cover the second half of this season. Being on this beat is so fascinating. It was so consistently stagnant for about 5 years, and now it is unique and interesting in every way, almost every day. Today, I got to cover an NHL prospect getting his first ever victory at the NHL level, and I get to continuously see interesting, unique young players and one of the best in the NHL in Philip Forsberg on a nightly basis. So 2023, just fascinating. 2023 also being the year that the show went from local to global thanks to the Full Press NHL Network and Full Press Predators podcast. So again, we thank each and every one of you. Well over 7 million downloads and replays for the year. That has allowed us a certain flexibility and a certain amount of freedom and control over what we do here. We could not have done that without each and every one of you. We could not have done that without our partnership with the Full Press NHL Network. Stick taps, love, and respect, my good Renegades. Happy New Year, please. Be safe, stay healthy, stay out of trouble on New Year's Eve. Go have fun, but make sure you don't drive. Make sure you don't drink and drive. Make sure if you do go out and drink, make sure you have a safe ride home. Make sure you grab an Uber, grab a cab, get a hotel, do whatever you got to do. Make sure you're safe, make sure you're ready. Predators are back on the ice on Tuesday night. We'll be back in the bunker on Monday to check up on each and every one of you, give you the most updated standings on New Year's Day, as a lot of people are going to start to roll back in. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Happy New Year, Renegades. 2023 was awesome. 2024 going to be even better with even more no half-stepping.